welcome friends to Cook It Right at 2 p.m. Also, just a reminder to the commentary the show is called Cook It Right with Jamie. Okay, not Colin. Colin is our featured special guest. If you want to watch Cook It Wrong, that would be Colin's show.
I don't know. I've gotten pretty good at cooking. I think I may even be better than you at this point.
You think you beat me this time?
I think I blew you out of the water.
Wow. Those are strong, bold words for someone who didn't know how to boil water half a year.
I knew how to boil water.
No, I guess it was a year ago, roughly. Now.
Yeah, I'm a new man. My cells have all regenerated and shifted around.
Sure. Anyhow, for those of you new to the show, the premise is I am trying to teach Colin how to cook just any food, really. We started at a real rough baseline, as aforementioned, did not know how to boil water. We're getting pretty good. So the audience will give us foods. I will pick a recipe. I will cook it the right way, and then I will give Colin the recipe, and then he will cook it. I always hope the right way, but he always surprises me.
You know, right is subjective. It's always right. I'm like kind of like a mother in the sense that I give life to these dishes, and I love all of them equally.
Well, I'm glad you love your food, but the real question is, will the people eating your food love your food? Anyway, this episode we made pies. We came up with this in the crux of summer, so the seasonality has perhaps faded.
You can have a fall pie.
What?
You can have a fall pie.
Yeah, you can have a fall pie. I'm just saying, like, the ingredients we made were more summery. And we ended up doing both a savory pie and a sweet pie because, as always, I want to challenge Colin. That being said, making a full-on pie is super laborious. So our savory pie is technically a galette, which is just like a easier, flatter pie to put together. And our sweet, interesting noise from Colin. And our sweet pie will be a summer fruit pie. So if I'm remembering correctly, it was peaches and blackberries. But again, we filmed this at least 2 months ago. Anyway, without further ado, let's learn how to make some pies. Ooh, I like this title.
Yes.
Yes, this is, I think, the first time I'm doing this show again back in my apartment here in Cambridge. So that's why the kitchen looks a little different than usual. But yeah, because it was going to be 2 pies, I made both the dough crusts first because both require some rest time. And you basically, you always want your butter to be cold. So you're going to cube it so it's easier to like crumble, but then you're going to put it back in the fridge while you're assembling everything else so it stays cold. You really want that cold butter. That's important for like texture, because if it gets too warm, it's not going to like have that right dough consistency that you are really looking for. That's an important pro tip. I really hope.
I knew that.
What?
I knew that.
You did?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah,
okay.
You know, it's kind of redundant for you to even say. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the last time you made dough, it went very poorly.
Did it? What?
Yes.
Which was that?
I think the quiches, and
Those
then also
were the best.
The tortillas, you really messed up.
Tortillas, that was 3 years ago.
Anyway, just add in some ingredients, just some lemon juice, salt, ice water. That's again to help with the coldness of your dough. I'm just gonna mix all these things together. And then well, what's interesting about this recipe that I dug up, I actually haven't put yogurt in my doughs before, so that was interesting. But I'm guessing that just kind of adds that like dairy, creamy component. But yeah, it's nice if you can use the wooden spoon, but as you can see, I eventually just capitulated and started just using my hands, just to help the dough clump together, because you do need it to get all lumpy lump. And then you just wrap it with plastic wrap, and then put it in the fridge for an hour. That was our first crust.
Oh.
The pâte brisée is an episode of the recipe, not an episode. A recipe I stole from Pastry Love by Flowers Joanne Shang. That's a local bakery shout out. I love this cookbook. I use it all the time. But yeah, this is her like go-to pie crust dough. She actually uses it in a bunch of other recipes too. But yeah. Ooh, that's a good tip from Tron. Use some ice water to cool your fingers when getting the crust together. I'm not actually sure if that
I heat my
would help.
fingers up. I rub them together to warm them up, just to get everything.
I do know
going.
something I always forget to do is if you put flour on your fingers, that helps it stick to your hands less. Or if you're lucky enough, you have a stand mixer on hand. So that's what I use for the pâte brisée at least. So minimized some mess to some degree. Very fortunate that my roommate has a stand mixer. So shout out to my roommate Laura for bringing that to our apartment.
My lady.
Colin, there's a question for you in the chat.
What's the question?
Can you read it yourself, or do you need me to read for you?
Are you related to Melissa Wentworth or John Wentworth Valentine? I don't know. I've never heard of those people in my life. It's possible.
Great. Well, on that note,
I'm not very close with my extended family, so it's possible.
You can see it's kind of crumbly when you dump it out of the mixer, so you will have to use your hands to gather it up again. You should always flour your surfaces again to help the dough from sticking to various things. And then once you get it into a nice round ball, oh no, sorry, I forgot about this. We have to do this is called fraisage, which is you are trying to spread the butter throughout the dough pretty flat and evenly, and that'll help it get that beautiful flaky texture that we all love in dough. So you're using the heel of your hand and you're like pressing it through.
Big fan of those flaky texture.
And then you're going to press it down to this 1-inch thick disc. And then this also goes in the fridge to cool and rest for
Why does it have to go in the fridge?
What?
Why does it have to cool in the fridge?
Where else are you cooling it?
Why does it have to cool?
It needs to stay cold because if it gets too warm, then it's going to be too melty. Anyway, now we're doing the fillings. Colin, you have another question in the chat for you.
Did I found Wentworth Institute of Technology? Yes, I did. I am an award-winning engineer. And, MIT.
Can you tell us some fun engineering facts?
Oh, you know bridges? You heard of them? Like a bridge?
Yes, sure. Bridges.
Engineers kind of design those and make them work.
Okay, great. Anyhow, I'm just cooking some cherry tomatoes, possibly grape tomatoes. I just picked them up from the farmer's market, so they were very fresh. And then cover with the lid to help them cook faster. You'll notice I didn't even bother to cut these because tomatoes do cook down pretty easily. And I wanted to I kind of like that burst of juice too when it happens on their own. So then once you hear the tomatoes burst, you add your cut zucchini. You just toss that in and saute for a bit. It's going to look kind of soupy. That's coming from the tomato juices. Then you're going to add in the corn. That also cooks. This is all summer vegetables. Again, we cook this in the summer. So I was really trying to get as seasonal as possible with our dish here.
I was really mad because I was like, man, is she doing summer vegetables in the fall? So I'm glad you clarified.
I'm glad I clarified the seasonality. And then we're just going to add some scallions. I'm always a big fan of scallions, just both flavor-wise. And it always adds a nice color. So then we're going to let your filling rest while you roll out your dough. This is, I'll admit, a tricky part about galettes is you have to roll them out really flat. And then you're going to have to do the little flaps, which I will show in a bit. What fall veggies? I feel like zucchinis are still fall. Honestly, galettes are a really flexible base, I guess. You can make sweet galettes too. Part of the reason I wanted to do this recipe is because I knew it could translate to other things very well. So
pumpkin.
You could probably do a pumpkin one. I would change probably some of the seasonings. What?
Like a jack-o'-lantern type situation. Put a jack-o'-lantern in your.
I wouldn't put a full pumpkin uncut on top of that. I feel like that would be bad.
Then I'm lost. I don't really understand what.
Anyway, once it's rolled out, it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. It just needs to be roughly circle. You're gonna put it on this parchment-lined sheet, and then I believe you just use a butter knife to make our flaps.
Emily, those tortillas were like 3 years ago that I made them.
You are gonna put in the filling in the center, and you see a lot of space I've left around. I'm just gonna let Colin respond to his attacks in the chat, and then you're gonna slice some flaps. You're gonna roughly form like 2-inch wide flaps. You don't want to cut all the way to the edge of the filling. You'll notice I did do that in a couple places. Unideal. You want to leave some space so it doesn't leak out. And then you're gonna fold them over, kind of so they like overlap each other. To try and like seal in everything. And then, because I felt like being fancy, I topped this with burrata, but you could easily sub that with whatever cheese you have. Like mozzarella could work, or Parmesan could work. What?
American slice, just a couple slabs.
I mean, sure, whatever floats your boat. And then you're gonna brush with an egg wash, just to help give a little golden color as it bakes. Egg wash is just you take an egg yolk and you add 1 teaspoon water and you beat it together, and then that's your egg wash. And then you're gonna bake the galette for 30 to 40 minutes. Usually the way I do that is, bake for 30 and then check in, and then keep adding time as you need. So that is the galette in its final form. It doesn't look the prettiest, I will admit. It looks better when you open it up.
Mine was like a painting that you would hang up on your wall.
Can't wait to see it. Anyhow, we're going to roll out our pâte brisée here. I have this handy dandy, I believe it's OXO mat. That was like one of my quarantine purchases, and I love it. As you can see, it has those like circles that helps me with the measurements. There's also grid lines. It's super, super helpful. And then very carefully, I think this is part of the reason you don't want your dough to get too warm, is if it gets too warm, it tends to break more easily. And I think I did struggle. Yeah, you'll see I struggled, and I have to roll this out a couple times to help get it like flat enough, but not too thin that it was breaking. I think at one point I threw it in the freezer to help it cool down. You don't want to like freeze it. So I think I only froze it for like 10 to 15 minutes. I did include this to show that, yes, even I, Jamie, the host of the show, can mess things up. But the trick is just figuring out how to fix it. Yes, me.
You can mess things up. I don't buy it for a second. You're God in my eyes.
Okay, that's too much. No. I can't deal with that. Anyway, you're gonna put it in the pie tin, and then ideally, you have a little bit over for the overhang. This pie does not come with the top crust because I didn't feel like making a second crust. It was too much effort. Wow, why cook when you can eat fast food? If you want to eat fast food, I'm not going to stop you. That's a choice. Support your local businesses and your economy.
McDonald's franchisees.
Yeah. Anyway, once you put your pie in the tray, you are going to cover it and put it back in the fridge to help it cool and set again before you do the blind bake.
You can also buy, you don't have you can buy microwave burritos and microwave those.
That is true. That's a choice, but I happen to think freshly made food just does taste better.
Well, it's like you could be watching YouTube videos instead of cooking,
Sure, that's a choice you can make. I'm not going to stop you. Anyway, you're going to slice these peaches. Yeah, pretty straightforward. I hope Colin historically has had a lot of issues with slicing, so I can't wait to see how he handled this.
No.
The blackberries you don't
I
have to
remember
cut up. You just want to toss all the fruit together so they're like evenly distributed. I think I got some blackberry juice on my hands there.
Ugh, disgusting.
You can see by the excess of paper towels I have on the side.
Oh, dude, if you had a slab chop for these peaches, it would have been a lot faster.
The peaches were not the issue for me, sir.
Well, if you had a slab chop, the peaches would have been sliced faster. You could have thrown everything in the slab chopped it up. It would have been chopped and slapped, ready to go.
Well, if you want a slab chop, that's on your agenda.
I'm just trying to
and then you're gonna add your spices. I believe it's like cinnamon and brown sugar, something of that sort. Honestly, cinnamon and brown sugar is always a solid. There it is. Cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla extract, 2 tablespoon butter, honey, and not brown sugar, regular sugar. Just a classic sweet spice mix. The butter is gonna help it incorporate and get all bubbly juicy. So you're gonna stir all those spices in so it's not just over the top. Again, you want to evenly distribute. And then
solid bite, just a big one surprise bite of spice.
Whatever floats your boat. Anyway, when you blind bake, you do have to weigh down the parchment paper you're putting on tie up. So I always use rice. One of these days, I feel like I'm going to cave and buy pie weights, but today is not that day. And I never have beans on hand because I hate beans, so I use rice. So yeah, fun fact.
Who is the other person you know that's sweet and spicy? It's a very vague statement.
I believe my friend Gerline is trying to call out, but yeah, at least I hope so. Anyhow, once you've blind baked your pie, you put in the filling, and then you will bake your sweet pie for 40 sipping mixes.
Cruel, nonstop cruelty.
That's just for you, Colin, and that's also because you can't cook it right. So that's just because I'm trying to teach you.
That's only
to cook it right.
The only reason.
And that is our final blackberry peach pie.
Wow.
So yes, that is the pie. Allison King, to answer your question, I don't know how to make honey cornbread, but I could certainly look into it. We do have a segment at the end where we turn over recipe suggestions to the audience, so save that for later.
Don't know how to make honey cornbread. And you messed up the dough thing before.
But I fixed it. Okay, the issue is not that I made the mistake in the first place. The issue is if you make the mistake and you don't fix it, which is what frequently happens.
Make a mistake at all, you're done. You're cut. You're off the team.
I happen to think food, should always be salvageable, and you want to eat it after you put in all that work. You should not just be throwing away meals willy-nilly.
One mistake.
Colin, there's a lot of food waste in this country, and you should not be actively contributing it in this way.
Well, we all have opinions, it's important to hear both sides of the issue.
I don't think this is about censorship. Anyway, to get back to the heckling, it's time for my favorite part of the show. Colin, you know what it is?
No, I forgot.
You know what it is. It's Quiz It Right! As always, I look back on previous episodes and identify, gaps in Colin's knowledge that I didn't realize were there. And we're trying to help him learn also more about food along the way, while he's also learning how to cook.
What is food?
What is food? We started from there, and now we're at the medium. We're not at the top. We're getting there.
I know what food is mostly.
We're still looking out for that elusive 3 out of 3. Colin,
I think every quiz I've done, the 3 out of 3.
No. I think the max you've gotten is like 2. I might have given you a 2.5 once, but so far it's been rough. But I have faith in you today. I actually think you can do this. I believe in you.
You made it in the last hour, and the questions are.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, let's go. Question 1. Identify each vegetable.
Yeah. Oh no. All right. Well, uh okay, so the B are the eggplant. The C no, the C is a cucumber and the A is a zucchini.
What about the aubergine?
There's only 3 of them.
Some things have more than one name.
I don't care for that. I'm gonna go with B is an aubergine.
Okay, let's see if he's right.
My guess.
Yay, you did it. As a reminder, last time we made ratatouille, and Colin said he had no idea what eggplants looked like until that day that he had to buy them for the ratatouille. So I wanted to show you the plethora of eggplants out in the world.
That's too many types of eggplants.
It is a lot. It is a lot. I believe the one we used was the big, dark, fat one, which is an Italian eggplant.
Jamie, why are eggplants called eggplants?
I don't remember. We did not look into this.
You failed. I put together my own quiz, and you.
Oh, I see. And I did just fail. That's on me. I will accept that. Maybe it's because they look like eggs. Like you see that little roundy, ovally one at the top. That kind of looks like an egg.
I don't see that at all.
All right. Anyway, you got this one. Oh, and I said zucchini squash because zucchini is a type of squash. That was just freebie for you in case you didn't know. Again, identify each cut. This is a question you've gotten before, but be it every time we do the recipes, you mess up your cuts, which is why I have to keep asking this question.
No. Okay. A is a slice. B is a rough chop. C is a mince. And D is a dice.
You standing by these answers?
Sure.
All right, let's show them.
Hell yeah.
You got A, slice, also known as julienne. Those things mean the same thing. C is mince. You got B and D, definitely wrong. Once again.
There's no difference between a rough chop and a dice.
No, dice is like the whole point of rough chop.
The difference between a chop and a rough chop is subjective.
No. Chop is like you're trying to get everything even so it will cook evenly. The whole point of rough chop is you just need to cut up. It's gonna mix together, and it doesn't matter what sizes the pieces are.
Isn't that true of every single thing?
No, oh no. See, this is what I worry about with Colin is, well, I guess to you, chop and rough chop is the same because you always rough chop.
When you cook it, it all tastes the same.
It does not all taste the same. It will taste better if they are about the same size and therefore they can be seasoned and cooked consistently.
I'm just gonna.
You got half of this right. I'm sorry, you don't get to score this quiz, buddy. Okay, you don't get to self-assign yourself points. I don't know how your schools work.
It's subjective. Which of these chops is rougher?
Ugh, that's no.
You can tell you just hacked this quiz together.
No,
this is embarrassing for the show.
You're embarrassing because I believe this is possibly the third time I've asked this question. Anyway, let's go to the third one. Identify each herb. Oh,
no pictures.
Good. The picture is not loaded. Oh, there it is. There it is.
That's fucked up. Oh,
Colin, can you watch your language? We're on a family hour.
That's effed up.
Thank you.
We never even did anything with herbs before.
We have definitely used herbs. We've used basil multiple times. I think we've used chives. We've possibly used cilantro. I'll give you maybe the other ones we have not used.
D is a cilantro.
Which one?
D.
Okay.
A is I don't know any of these, Jamie.
I believe in you. Just give us gifts.
You're gonna yell at me. And A is mint. B is dill. C is basil. E is chives. No. B is chives. F is parsley.
Okay, you want to go through the list again?
Oh, Christ. Okay. Let's see. A is mint. B is chives. C is basil. D is cilantro. E is, oh, God, dill. F is something else. Mint, maybe. That's my final answer. I don't think you even remember what I said.
I do remember what you said. You were so close. You did correctly identify F as parsley at some point, so I will give that to you.
Oh.
D is cilantro. E is dill. I'm surprised you got that one because we haven't done one. However, you did get basil and mint mixed up.
They look the same. They're all green.
No, mint. Okay, so you can see mint is like the leaves have like deeper ridges and the stem is pinker. To be fair, it is easier to identify when you're holding them. It like has a hardier stem than basil
Or when you
does.
have like a label on the box that you purchased.
Also that, I suppose. But if you don't have your boxes out while you're cooking, okay, what if you grab mint instead of basil? You're gonna change the flavors of your dish entirely.
Why would I not have them labeled?
I don't know, man. I don't know how you're storing things. Anyway, you did pretty well. You got 67% of this.
That's passing.
So you got the first one, you got a half point for the second one, and basically a half point for the last one. So I'll give you did a little over 2. You did like 2.33 out of 3.
I think we should have an opinion, if an opinion poll, if I did the best. Thank you.
I think this might be your highest score to date. I would say did the best is strong, but we're getting you to smiley face. We're still at neutral. It's like the upturns of a smile are starting to happen.
Little smirk.
Yeah, but I'm honestly, I knew the herbs were gonna be some curveballs, and you did pretty good. So,
all right,
pat yourself on the back for that one.
I will. Thank you.
All right, are you ready to show me how you cooked your pies, Colin?
Hell yeah, let's show the footage. Oh yeah.
Are you cutting it directly on a plate, Colin? Where are your cutting boards? You gotta have cutting boards.
I'm not gonna cut the butter on the cutting board. It's a slime cube.
I'm sorry, what did you call it?
A slime cube. You can slice it anywhere you want.
Slime cube?
Yeah.
Is your butter slimy?
That's how butter is. It's just slimy.
I don't think you're buying good butter, man.
It's holding a salamander.
Yikes. Yikes.
Oh, this is making the dough for the fruit pie.
Mm-hmm. What's up with that measurement, man? What's up with that?
I don't know.
That was like a little mountain. It didn't even reach the edges. Colin. We gotta talk about what's going on.
Putting some more in.
I will tell you, I have made this mistake before. Why are you doing? What is this, baby? Is that supposed to be half? Use the half cup. What was that? You can't eyeball this.
What's wrong with listening?
Because clearly the measurement was off. Secondly, you want an even scoop. See, that's better. It's actually better if you dip the scoop in because then you can even it out on the top. I usually use like a knife to lop off the extra bit. What's going on? I didn't tell you to do this to the butter.
You had to leave it at room temperature, and I didn't do that.
Oh boy, you're gonna over melt it, aren't you?
No, it's perfectly melted.
Oh boy.
What?
I'm already concerned.
Concerned about what?
Everything. The flour measurements, the butter being melty, McGee.
It's coming up the gears.
Yikes. Which one are you making? Because one of them I told you to just mix by hand.
This is the fruit pie.
Okay. Oh, you made that one first?
Yeah. Or I made the dough first anyway.
Interesting.
I made these over a fortnight.
Look, what?
I made these over a 2-week period.
You slaved in your kitchen every day.
I put in 8 hours a day to make these.
You actually turn the butter by hand for Colin. What is this egg separation technique? I thought we went over this last time.
Everyone in the chat said it was cool, and you're the only one who was.
It's just messy. It's unnecessarily messy.
How do you do it? There's no other way.
Okay, you crack the egg, you let the white slide out, and you use the shell to catch the yolk, and then you keep tossing it back and forth as the white falls out, and then you set the yolks aside. That's how you do it.
Tactile slime feel on my hand.
Yeah, apparently this is Slime It Right with Colin. That's what today's episode is.
I'm just trying to get a spot on Nickelodeon. I just want to get slimed.
Are they still sliming?
I'm hoping they bring it back for me.
Just for you?
I think an agent said they were going to be in watching today. So
did they?
Yeah.
Did they also ask you to Venmo some Bitcoin?
Yeah, they said to send them $30,000 for the Bitcoin, and they
okay.
The show today.
And then they get you on Nickelodeon. Great, definitely not a scam.
Well, they said I'd have a good shot because
okay. At least they didn't for sure promise you. They said we'll look into this.
You gotta pay the price for your dreams. That's what I always say.
Oh boy. The texture of this is looking slightly worrying to me. I'm not gonna lie. Also, your dough is looking kind of brown. Did you use whole wheat flour?
Maybe.
Which is fine. I'm just trying to figure out why your dough is looking.
I wanted to make it like a pizza.
For the sweet pie?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for tipping your bowl to the
camera.
Yeah.
I'm nothing if not a showman.
Mm-hmm. That's what the Greatest Showman is actually an autobiographical film about Colin.
Yeah. I've seen that movie a lot.
Colin, you cannot just pour. Oh my God, this is so much flour. We've talked about this. This is not how you flour your surface.
How do you flour a surface?
You scoop out a couple spoonfuls and then you spread it out. You don't want this sandbox of flour on the cutting board. You just need a thin dusting.
I'm like a cat. I just need to get my paws in.
Oh no! I don't. No! Please don't describe your floured surface like a litter box, Colin. That is not. Or a Zen garden.
Yeah.
Not what you should be aiming for.
Jamie, once you experience true peace like I do, you'll.
Was this peaceful? Did you feel peaceful doing this?
I feel more relaxed than I've ever felt in my entire life.
Oh my God. Are you going for more flour, Colin? You already have a mountain of flour on this floor. Oh my God. Oh my God. What's going on?
Disc. I don't know.
Where'd you go?
I'm taking a nap.
You did say this took 14 days.
This is the end of the first. This is the
Is
end of the
this
first
the resting?
day.
Is this the resting footage?
I'm making camp for the rest of the.
Yeah, you're starting to build. You're gathering your Zen garden supplies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Set up a tent so I can sleep in the kitchen.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Having a little trouble with our plastic wrap there?
Yeah. No, I mean no.
What is this wrapping and leaving? Put it in the fridge. Oh, you're getting a second one? Okay, yeah. That is actually the right call. If you did not cover it completely.
Thank you. Finally, some recognition for my effort.
I gave you props for the herb question.
Only because I begged you to.
Oh, what's this? We're cutting. Look who's not using a slap chop for peaches now.
Yeah, well.
What is this knife, though?
That's the fruit knife.
Looks like a bread knife.
That's
once again.
That's a fruit knife.
A fruit knife? There's no such thing as a fruit knife.
I mean, I guess you're not an expert chef after all if you don't know how to a fruit knife.
Am I seeing a serrated edge on that knife? Because it feels like I am.
That's perfect. That's the fruit for fruit.
And we've talked about this. It is 100% still the bread knife. For those of you who are new to the show, Colin uses a bread knife to cut everything.
It works. If it works.
Except for bread. I feel like the one time you had to cut bread, you didn't use a bread knife.
Using some kitchen scissors to get through the bread is the best strategy, I find.
Oh my god. Honestly, I feel like I've done my best to try to educate you on the knife situation, and this is where we've landed. So maybe this is just a battle I give up. The larger cutting board can't be used because he put a Zen garden's worth of flour on it. That's the issue with the cutting board. Wow, Dave Thomas coming in here suggesting a butter knife. Wow,
Dave,
wow.
you can even use your hands or your fingernails to just
You did rip apart the bell peppers that one time, and I was like, Jesus. That is actually probably the closest approximation to a rough chop, though, and it worked. So I can't actually be mad at you there. It wasn't pretty, but I guess it worked.
You never want to.
No, I get mad at you constantly, very validly, based on your choices throughout these processes.
You never wanted to try my feasts. I offered to mail them to you, and you refused.
Yeah, you offered to mail me the cake, which might have been one of your bigger failures, and I super opted out of that experience. I was like, I do not need your moldy cake coming to California.
It would have been delicious by the time.
Ooh, I like this alignment Emily put together. Chaotic good bread knife. Chaotic neutral butter knife, chaotic evil ripping.
All those everything is neutral. There's no morals in cooking.
No, there's 1,000. What's going on? Oh, is that your honey? She's swirling. Oh, yeah. Wow. Is that true, Colin?
Rip a bison shank in half with his bare hands? I mean, not since college.
What were you doing in college?
I was ripping bison shanks in half with my bare hands.
Also, were there bison in Ithaca?
Yeah, there's a lot of bison around.
Just running about.
It's the Wild West.
It's a bison preserve.
Yeah, the school is within a bison preserve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That would be actually very fun.
It'd be terrifying.
All right, what are we doing now?
I don't know where we
are. Are you making your second dough?
Probably. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I would have to guess so. I was worried when I saw you starting with the sweet pie. I was like, no. But I thought you chickened out the way you did. What is this? Are you drinking milk straight from the jug? Is this your personal milk jug?
It is my personal milk jug. I live alone in this Airbnb.
Oh my god. I mean, I guess if you're living by yourself, I can't really. This is so aggressive, though. My lord.
2%.
Not whole milk?
Nope.
For those bison shank ripping.
Yeah, I gotta put on some meat so I can rip more shanks.
Very aggressive chopping here.
Thank you.
You are hiding your thumb, which is good.
I learned from the best.
That's good.
My mom.
That's fair, because I to be fair, I don't know if I've ever sat you down to teach you how to cut vegetables. I just judge your choices every time. What?
Maybe it's your fault that I'm a bad cook then.
I'm doing my darndest to make you into a good cook. How dare you?
You've known me for like 15 years and you just
That is not true. That is not true. I've known you for 5?
I don't know, 6, 7.
I don't know. Time is weird. Last year was like 7 years long, so I guess maybe we are at 15 years now.
Probably. What is
this? This is, I have to say, the teeniest cutting board with which to be chopping the zucchini. Also, why haven't you set aside the ones that are chopped in a bowl?
Do you like my big chill water bottle? On the right there.
Is this your ad for the water bottle company?
Right, big chill water bottles, the most insulated water bottle you can find.
Are you a big chill influencer, Colin?
I'm trying to. Well, the big chill people. I got an email saying that the big chill people were gonna be attending this.
Okay, you have a lot of people attending this.
Yeah, I just had to send them $30,000 worth of Dogecoins.
Dogecoins. Wow.
Yeah.
So at least they're mixing up their crypto.
It's good to diversify, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to borrow some money from you.
I don't have any crypto, so.
What is happening? What am I doing here?
I believe you're mixing yogurt with something. Yeah. It must be for the dough.
Oh, here comes the corn.
What? Oof. I'm very worried about the stability of this corn. I mean, to be honest, I too struggle getting corn off the cob. It's just so messy. If anyone has any pro tips for how to make this process less messy, I mean, I also end up spilling corn all over the place. The one thing I do that I probably should have advised you is I will like cut the corn in half. One, so you have a flat surface for it to stand on, and two, it's just like less height for it to splatter. Harvest it from the can. I mean, that is also a way.
Fresh from the farm.
Fresh farm cans.
I picked it right from the can tree.
I am worried about something falling, but we have no corn fall footage, so I assume you made it. You're in the clear.
We got all the digits.
You did it.
I'd like to see. I wonder if I chop my finger off, I probably wouldn't tell you. I'd probably save it for the.
I would be very upset if you actually chopped your finger off.
It just shows up on the.
We do not have hazard compensation.
I have to hide my chopped finger off until I do the show.
Oh God! Oh God! All right, coming together. Look at that.
Yeah, it's all coming. It's all coming up, Colin, as usual.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I like that you just left the spoon.
Taking another nap.
Stuck in there.
Taking another break.
Okay, got the spoon out. I thought you were just like, nope, the spoon lives in this dough now. That's how it's gonna be.
I cook the
spoon.
The spoon is in the pie.
Mid-recipe nap. Are you taking mid-recipe naps, Colin?
I need to. Very tired. I don't eat a lot of vegetables, so I get tired easily.
Maybe you should eat more vegetables. Actually, good thing this pie has a lot of vegetables in it.
That's true.
This show is actually just secretly a way for me to make sure Colin eats his fruits and vegetables. Instead of an all pizza bagel diet.
It's the only reason I still have teeth.
I should maybe budget 30-minute naps into the recipes. I'll do that next time.
That'd be great. All cooking books should have that. Oh, this is back to the fruit pie.
Oh, this is your blind bake? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot. I maybe forgot to film myself doing this, but yeah, you want to dock is what the term used. You dock your pie crust by poking holes into it with a fork just to help get some aeration in there.
Let it breathe.
Let it breathe. This is a lot of docking, I have to say. You maybe don't have to do quite that much, but you know, it works. Oh, look who's returning to his flour mountain. I guess that is one advantage of this aggressive amount of flour is you don't have to reflour the surface. But I'm just thinking about all this flour going to waste.
It's not going.
Because what did you do? What did you do with your excess flour?
I ate it.
You just ate it straight? You just ate flour on its own?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna believe that until I see the footage of it.
It's kind of like a bread.
Also, what's going on? Are you also putting this in the tray?
Putting what in the tray?
Well, because only one of the doughs needs to go in a pie tin. Or did we just get the footage in reverse?
It's the same dough.
Okay. What's going on? Oh, you're doing your blind bake. What did you use for pie weights?
Pie weights. I used the bottom half, the underside of the pie.
What?
I used the underside of the pie. I just tucked it under.
Oh, no. No, you need the weights to like weigh down otherwise it's going to puff up. Oh, no. No, you saw how my rice, like, so the paper sits flat against the pie. The whole point of the weights is what are you doing? You're just like
Jamie, not
wrapping this in more and more parchment paper.
Jamie, not everyone has specific pie weights. They
I
don't
don't have pie weights. I just talked about how I use uncooked rice because I don't have pie weights.
used a bunch of rocks.
Oh my god. I mean, that would have even been better because it would have at least been covered by the parchment paper. Oh no. It's your crust is gonna be too puffy. And possibly undercooked.
Does that look too puffy to you? I don't think so.
I can't actually tell what's going on with the lighting. I feel like it got like way darker.
It's nighttime. I took a nap and I woke up at 3 a.m. and now
Oh boy. Scooping your fruit in.
on the fruit, baby. Ooh,
Do you have any notes about your work here?
I'm doing
What are
great.
you are you using a spatula to scoop it in?
Huh?
I mean, it worked, but like spoons,
Jamie,
anything like you use like the griddle spatula.
that's the difference between you and I. You know, I'll do anything to get the job done. I'll use a
Okay,
spatula
yes,
instead of a spoon.
but some tools are objectively better. That is looking nice. You have a nice spread of peach and blackberry there. I have to give that to you.
I
It's a
know.
nice little hero shot.
I know. I read cooking magazines. I know what a good spread looks like.
Oh, do you? What cooking magazines are you reading?
I read O magazine and M magazine, G magazine.
Hmm.
Those are
That's
just
all I have to
magazines
say.
about the letters, actually.
Yeah, sounds like more like you're on Sesame
What
Street.
words are O in today?
Oh, switching to I do actually usually use kitchen scissors for scallions. It's just easier. I should have recommended that, but I'm glad you got there on your own. Well, so for scallions, you will not use the bread knife, but for everything else,
scallions are tiny and hard to slice.
I like that you actually measured your tomatoes. Of all the things, you measured your amount of tomatoes. That does not look like enough, though. Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, you gotta have more than that, sir.
Give me some credit, Jamie. Jeez, this lady's getting on my case.
Did you put oil in that pan? So you just ended up dumping the whole box there. Did you realize that? You just measured it for no reason. Anyhow. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of steam. A little worried you didn't put oil in that pan first, which honestly with tomatoes isn't the end of the world, but
I know, that's why I didn't do it.
You literally just said that you did, though.
I read cooking magazines, so.
We are making a galette. This is the cooking of the filling, I believe.
There are 2 pies in the show, which is very special. It's a very special occasion.
Yeah, that's why we called it Pie versus Pie, the pie off episode. Technically, there are 4 pies in this show, Colin, because you had 2 pies and I had 2 pies.
I mean, there's 2 pies that everyone's here for, and it's kind of my pies.
Really? Is that what you think?
Yeah.
You think you have superior pies?
I wouldn't say superior. I would say just much better, significantly better.
Wow! Look who struggles to roll out dough and still thinks he's somehow the master. Is this a new day?
Put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this pie. It is a new day.
I could tell. You really weren't kidding about your 14-day process, huh?
This is the start of a new week. This is actually week 2.
Next time, can we get like a timer on your video?
Sure.
It has been 11 days since I begun my pie journey.
Since I've last seen my family,
Looks like your zucchinos.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing with the tray?
I'm using it as a pan cover.
Okay, honestly, pretty inventive. A little oversized, but I have to give that to you. That is pretty inventive if you don't have a big enough lid.
Thank you.
Okay, it seems like you have the corn and you're mixing it in.
It's a classic Colin strategy. Mixing corn.
The downside to this is if you're gonna bake on the tray, it's gonna have a bunch of condensation on the bottom now.
I don't consider that a downside. I think condensation just adds flavoring.
On the underside of the pan, that's not touching any of the food.
I mean, it gets around the oven. It spreads out. Loops
Oh boy.
the pan like a roller coaster.
Oh boy.
We got Mind Eraser, Daring Lake Six Flags. What's up?
I have to say, this does look pretty nice. I mean, part of that is just because the colors of the vegetables, the red and the green and the yellow, is nice.
You couldn't give me a compliment. You couldn't just be like, this looks pretty nice. Colin.
I told you your fruit pie looks nice. Okay. Okay. I also agree. I thought that lid to the right looked like it could have fit on there. So I was surprised you didn't use that one. But we have moved on. He has finished the cooking.
Proper size. Everyone.
Also, I have frequently bought pans that don't come with lids. I feel like that's a pretty normal thing. Not even bought, usually inherited.
Yeah, they're lost.
I am glad you are finally using a rolling pin, though, because historically you've just tried to roll out these doughs with your bare hands.
I mean, if you're ripping up buffalo shanks with your bare hands, rolling pie dough out isn't.
It is not the same. Those are not the same functions.
I got a lot of forearm strength, and
if you say so. We'll see.
Squeezes.
Oh, we didn't see you cut the flaps. We only see the folds.
I cut the flaps.
I mean, clearly you did because now you're folding it. I do worry maybe your flaps are a little large, but it's not the end of the world.
Jesus.
Do you have burrata? Are you going to top it with cheese?
Oh, I guess we'll see. Now I'm taking another nap.
Is this a nap? Is this a scheduled nap?
Quick nap.
Just a little power nap for your power pie.
I feel like I'm giving you the glamour shot here.
Was that a glamour shot? What is this? What are you showing us?
The egg. Doing an egg, making the egg glaze.
What do you? I'm very. What did you just wash the yolk under the water?
Get rid of the slime. I gotta clean it off.
What? So did you just like wash a bunch of egg white down your drain for no reason?
I don't know. Oh, this is the cheese.
I
on.
I don't understand what we just watched. I don't understand.
Slime 2, the slimening.
Oh boy. And you just got some cheese bits all over the place. Are you gonna put them on top into the pie?
That's a mystery, Jamie. I'm a man of mystery.
What is this? That is not how you. Oh my god! You just dumping the egg wash on?
It's not dumping. It's called scooping.
I mean, to be fair, I might not have told you should use a pastry brush, but this is definitely the least effective way I would have brushing it.
Use a pie weight. Use a pastry brush. Colin, why don't you use a diamond to put it in
I suggested pie weight alternatives, and nowhere have I ever said you needed a diamond. Okay, calm down.
Why don't you get $100,000 worth of cattle and bring them into your house with a pie?
Look, if you want to raise a bison farm, you can do that on your own. You don't need to put that on me. Wow, that egg wash was wow. You truly do find ways to surprise me every time. All right.
I surprise you with how delicious my
we'll see.
Cookings are.
See. Is this your final form?
My final form. I've reached my true potential.
Oh man, what?
It looks good.
Oh, 2 pies. Oh, are we on tasting? Oh, I think this is a preview of tastings. All right, here we go. Are you ready, Colin? So
Never.
just a preference. I know we prefer as an audience, as a community. The ideal version of this is that I have my parents taste my food, and Colin has his parents taste his food. That being said, I am not currently with my parents. They're in California. Actually, right now they're in Taiwan, and possibly up at 3 a.m. watching. In which case, I'm on it down. So I had to steal Colin's adoptive parents, our friends Ben and Leah, so they will be my taste testers this episode.
All right, this is pie 1 of 2 with Ben and Leah.
It looks.
We are eating a tomato, zucchini, corn, burrata galette.
I'm gonna go first.
Yeah. That's good.
Oh yeah, it's really good. It's very creamy.
That's from the burrata.
Jamie told us to come hungry, and I'm glad I did.
I'm not, but you know.
It's such an awkward experience to be
Wait,
filmed
we should try
eating.
It is.
crusty.
So what is the cheese?
Burrata? It's kind of like a fancy mozzarella, I guess. This is not your fault. It got very
I
softened.
would say it is maybe a little messy.
That's
but
fair.
I don't.
Ooh, messy. Not good.
I don't need it
Thanks.
to be neat.
It's very good comfort food.
Yeah, right. It's warm.
And also it feels kind of-
flavorful.
I mean, I know it's, you know, mostly vegetables. It feels very healthy.
Is that a good thing?
Well, there's also the bread. I think is what actually makes it really delicious, and that's not clearly healthy, but. Yeah.
There's a bunch of
Tomatoes
cheese
really
dumped on it.
And yet he still thought it tasted
I'm
healthy,
gonna
bro.
continue eating.
All right.
Yeah, I just want to keep eating.
All right.
because,
So do you want me to stop filming?
I
No,
mean, you do what you
can-
need
you
to
can
do, but I'm gonna
keep-
keep.
I'm gonna
I will keep
stop
responding.
because I'm tired.
No. I have more to
That's
say.
always my cutoff
And
for
we're-
taste.
all right.
Correct, we're ready.
Ben and Leah are on
This
my
is a
porch.
different day.
I'm gonna watch you cut a pie. Actually,
Jamie kept us here for 12 hours.
that's it. As
That's
you
why
can
it's
see, the
daylight.
lighting has changed dramatically. They've been held hostage in my apartment.
Acquired a dog.
She told us it would only be until 10:30 last night. And at 4 a.m. we're like, where's the pie, Jamie?
Yeah, the sweet pie took longer than I
I
anticipated.
can tell this is gonna completely disintegrate. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well, you're doing it with a fork and not a spatula, so that's just brave.
Yes, that
I
is
might-
their
I might
dog
have to go
Douglas,
get a- oh, boy.
as who you can see peeking
boy.
just into frame.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Very cute
Oh, yeah,
dog.
yeah. Douglas, he hates everybody.
You should slurp that.
Especially
piece.
me.
How was it?
It was good. That little slurp.
That's all you say. Good.
Are we rolling right now?
I assume so. Don't say anything.
Jamie sucks.
No.
I don't know if this one is gonna do the trick, to be honest, but we've already created one disintegrated piece. So, oh, you know what, Ben?
I
this-
realized
this-
I never
this
watched
will
that
work.
moment.
My,
That's
When I left,
give me more.
that Jamie
Finally, something I agree with.
Thank you. Maybe.
Yeah. You
Oh,
might get,
did you look up?
I did. Blackberries are fine for dogs.
Peaches?
Peaches are also fine.
We gave him some peaches.
We
So-
feed our
I'm
dog a lot of
continually
fruit,
learning
though.
what you
Hey,
can and
he's a
cannot
healthy
feed
fruit
dogs.
boy.
Yeah, he's a fruit boy.
As long as it's no, also, so we're just having real disintegrating.
This is great though. I feel like it's a great sign because the motion.
The producer did a great job editing these tasting vids. I will not suffer
That's a
producer
plain-
slander on this show.
When you want to
Yeah,
text
you're
the
both
producer,
both
they
your
gotta
slices
come
are
to
in
you.
frame. So
Oh, look at Douglas
way.
nosing. He is
Alright,
ready
should
for
I go first
pie.
again?
Yeah, I'll go first again. Mmm. Mm-hmm. It's good.
do you want to use more
Words?
words?
Thing you ever said.
More descriptive words that doesn't sound like you're lying?
Yes.
Mmm.
It's very flavorful. I taste the fruit.
It's good. It has I feel like some of like the seasonings, like nutmeg or whatever.
Yeah, and I feel like it's
That
not
comes
too
through.
tart, which is nice. It's like tart, but just enough.
Right. Like I think sometimes the worry with fruit pies, like it could be too like cloyingly sweet, and it's not that either.
Yeah, it's a good balance.
There we go. Balanced. That's a good word.
Into this pie.
I do agree. It probably would have tasted even better with vanilla ice cream.
Is he in the frame? He must be. Just barely. Here, I can adjust.
Here.
There we go.
Let's see what Douglas thinks. I think he approves. Douglas, want another one? Yeah.
Aww.
It's better than Colin's pie, isn't it?
Better than Colin's raw eggplant.
Rude. Rude.
All right, Colin, are you ready to show your tasting?
I'm more ready than I've ever been in my entire goddamn.
All right, let's go. Let's see what Hal and Martha think of your pies. Whoa, outside. Oh, wow, and you have a dog in your footage. Wow. Look at this setup. And is that wine on the table?
They really wanted to do a fancy thing, and I was like,
I approve. This looks amazing. I have to say, you did a much better serving experience than I did. Your dad looks very comfortable, I have to say. He looks like a king in his throne.
He looks very small. Like, the table is really tall. He's like...
I think it looks good. It looks really good.
Using the bread knife. Just saying.
Alright. Should I serve the dessert pie too now?
Yeah.
Deafening amount of crickets.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Horrible cacophony.
This does have a devastating.
Colin, is that the bread knife that Jamie doesn't like?
Oh no.
I appreciate the camera woman.
Camera woman, that's my mom.
I know it's your mom. I like that she knew the comment was gonna be coming.
She knows how you hurt me, and she doesn't give it.
This looks delicious. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Ben. Hi, Leah. Hi, Emily. I miss you guys.
Cool.
Smells really good.
So, did you serve these pies fresh? Did you reheat them?
They're fresh.
What's the texture like?
Well,
yeah?
The veggie pie is fresh. The berry pie is...
Crust is really good.
Yeah?
Amazing. Good job.
Awesome.
Colin, you got it an amazing.
The vegetables seem like they're cooked.
Perfect. Tender. Yum. I love it.
You want to take a bite of the dessert pie now?
Sure. Or do you want to hit Dad up and I can...
Well, he can edit it.
Oh, okay.
You can edit it.
Anymore.
This is like a way too picture aesthetic, Colin. You
Really
very
good.
outdone
I
yourself.
was worried about the whole wheat crust, but
It's kind of coming apart. But
the flavor's good and the texture's good.
yeah.
Jamie,
Colin got a
thank you for
question in the
teaching Colin
chat.
how to cook. You're doing a great job.
Mysterious location.
Excellent. I love it.
All right. Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
Dad, ready?
I'm ready. All right.
Having a bite of the vegetable one that I didn't read the name of.
Yeah,
I think I just called it a summer
I couldn't
vegetable
tell you.
the
galette.
vegetable one.
I couldn't tell you.
That is really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Awesome.
Excellent.
I do actually think Colin wins, purely based on
What do you
environment.
think of the all the flavors, the meat, lack of meat?
The lack of meat is an interesting choice. But the vegetables are they're very tender. They're really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
You want to take a bite of the dessert pie?
Sure.
Keeping in mind that I only have 1 minute battery left.
Yeah. No chance to clear my palate. Let's go.
This is quite a glow up, Colin. You've really good job, sir. Well done.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah. That's awesome.
A delightful medley of flavors.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So very, very food critic of you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, thanks, guys, for eating the food.
Thank you.
Just about out of battery here, but
Thank you, Kyle.
thank you so much.
Thanks, Jamie.
Wow, look at this.
Cheers.
This final shot.
Gotta
Wow,
cheers
wow,
fast.
wow. Cheers. Cheers indeed. I like how you're scooting them along too, as they're trying to have this beautiful
Just eat.
environmental moment for you.
What am I
What?
doing?
Baby,
Just a couple of
baby, hey, baby.
You're just filming. Oh, okay. I was like, you're just filming from all angles possible.
Yes, I don't know.
Wow. Well done, Colin. Honestly, you got a
know,
buttery
too.
crust. You had a delightful medley of flavors. Your mom gave you an amazing.
I'm kind of a pro
All
chef.
right. All right. So I think we are a little over time. So I will turn it over to the chat if you have any recipe suggestions. That being said, we floated this out, Colin. We might do some kind of Friendsgiving special for next month, in which case I think we're finally going to challenge Colin by cooking a plethora of dishes. But yes, stay tuned for Quarantine Action Wrestling finale on this channel right after we wrap up. But yeah, we'll see how the Friendsgiving special goes, I guess, because I think we maybe should hustle and bustle. Maybe the turkey's happening, maybe a bunch of sides, stuffing. All right, yeah, throw us those suggestions. Mashed pots, mashed potatoes. Colin, how's this all sounding? Turducken is a lot. I'm gonna axe the turducken right
We're making
now.
turducken.
No, we're making just turkey. Homemade wine? What kind of resources do you think we have available in
I
our
don't even know what
city
a pie
apartment?
is.
Friendsgiving in January, unfortunately, is a realistic timeline. 10 pies. Maybe we'll do 10 pies. Who knows? Who?
We'll just increase the number of pies each time.
Yeah. I mean, technically, we made 4 this time, so we have to make at least 6 next time.
All right,
Pumpkin pie with homemade wine. Wow. Colin, does this all sound feasible to you?
It sounds easy peasy lemon squeezy.
All right. Just remember he said that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We're going to remember this. We're going to remember that was his prediction.
I'm going to forget the second I leave this show.
Oh, I know. But I will remember. The North remembers.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Emily,
yes. Sorry. I almost forgot. Colin, would you consider either of these pies a woo food?
I would consider the veggie pie a woo food.
Wow.
That was my favorite. That was probably my favorite thing I've ever made for the show.
Wow.
It was
all veggies.
Yeah, I'm a big veggie guy.
All right, what's wrong with the sweet pie? Why isn't it a woo food?
It just kind of crumbled apart. It's not my favorite. I'm not a big sweets guy anyways, but maybe
Okay.
if the lady was into sweets, perhaps.
Perhaps Colin would woo you with the sweet pie. All right, thanks for watching, y'all. Tune in for QAW finale and TBD when our special will be, because it's going to be around Thanksgiving. I guess we'll figure it out. Follow 2MB Studios on all the socials and you will find out those details. All right, bye.